Why are you always checking for their content? Why are you always looking to see what they've got going on? You are not them. You're you. Okay, so they've got a lot of subscribers and they've been working at it probably longer than you have. So why do you feel behind because they are ahead? You have your own vision. You have your own thoughts, ideas, and gifts. So run your own race. Do you spend more time worrying and going through and searching somebody else's channel when you don't even put time in to pray about your own channel? Well, friend, I've been there. There's nothing more frustrating than sitting there and looking at what somebody else has got going on. Their lighting, their props, their setup, their studio, their gear, their cameras, their gadgets. We spend so much time in the comparison trap. And today, we're going to break that down. We're going to pull the pain points of what that is all about. Because God has a plan for each and every one of us. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Biblical Elevation with me, Amania, where we are navigating the digital, we are elevating the biblical, we are transforming you, the creator, into a vessel for the gospel. So here is one of the big problems. It's the comparison trap. This also brings on content paralysis. It's literally a disease. Okay? It's definitely a problem. So what happens is you don't even want to upload. You don't even want to set up. You don't even want to do anything because you feel you're not good enough. So this is your ministry. But the paralysis takes on so much that you've become crippled in even doing the work. Why? Because you're so busy comparing yourself to these big name content creators, and you don't even know what their journey was, because we all have our own journey, right? We all have our way. We've got to understand and learn the road for ourselves. And if you don't even know that, when they get to, I don't know, like 100,000 subscribers, or they're in the 500,000 subscriber range, dude, they are still learning because now they're in a new platform. They're in a different bracket. So we are growing and stretching at every point. So when you're starting out, yes, it feels like you're carrying the load of so much. It's because it's new. You're navigating the road. You're understanding you're learning the basics. Because if you don't understand the groundwork and the framework of where we are as small in the beginnings, how are you ever going to carry the load that comes with something so much bigger? So you feel like, this is giant. But imagine when you're at the 100,000 mark or the 5,000 mark, it's like 5,000 of these on your shoulders instead of one. So we have to learn to work right where we are, because that is where the pruning takes place. So that content paralysis, you've got to say, you know what? I know I'm feeling this kind of way, but it's on my schedule today to record. Let me take the morning and do that. I'll bet you by the afternoon, you will be in a different place. But if you let that paralysis clutch onto you and it holds onto you and it takes you all day, then guess what? Nothing gets done. You're stuck in this physical where you can't even work. And God did not call us to be that way. He called us to go out there, do the thing, no matter what. We do the thing. We do the work. We do what needs to be done. And so we have to put content paralysis, which is, again, it's a real thing now. It's a real thing, because it was hooked up to me yesterday. It was hooked up to me yesterday because Thursdays is a recording day. Today is Friday. I'm recording today. I couldn't get it done yesterday because I had content paralysis in different forms. Now it shows up in different segments. It may show up in your equipment, right? Oh my God, this equipment. Let me try a different version. Let me try a different thing. So I was literally testing out different ways because I want to go live. And my setup is giving me problems in doing so. So I spent yesterday figuring out how to, okay, let me set up the live stream to my tablet. See how that go? Let me set up my tablet to my Osmo, right? So we could do that. Problems there, couldn't get it hooked up, couldn't get it working. Then I said, okay, let me do my laptop. Let me try my older laptop. So I pull out my HP laptop, put the process together. Oh, your Osmo and that PC doesn't work together. I said, okay, let me get up. I got more resources. Let me get my Mac. It's an older Mac Air, my little tablet, laptop. Pull that out, connect the dots. It ain't working out. I said, man. And then I'm working with StreamYard as the software. Nothing's coming together. I said, man, content paralysis. So I didn't get anything done yesterday because I was so busy trying to set up all these extras. When I know that, hey, you know what? Pull out the Osmo. Live stream is probably not in your future in this season. Let's just work on what we can do now. That is pulling out my Osmo and recording in this way. And so this is what I had to do. I let content paralysis take me yesterday, but guess what? Today on Friday, I'm sitting here recording the content. I may be a day late, but it's not over. So take my advice, continue, and put down the content paralysis because this is a real thing. So the scripture that's going to help us with our content paralysis comes from 2 Corinthians 10:12, and it reads, when they measure themselves by themselves and compare themselves with themselves, they are not wise. Woo! Don't compare yourselves to yourselves with yourselves, because when you do, you are running around in circles and you are not wise. So friend, if you are enjoying the content here, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you feel that the Spirit is leading you to do so. I do appreciate the comments because that let the algorithm know that you are enjoying this content. And if you go one step ahead and throw in a I like it, that even tells them even more. And you can come back as many times to get more. So like, share, comment, and subscribe. We are going to break down this comparison trap with 3 key points and with 3 levels. So the pain point, the spiritual root, and the biblical solution, and a little bit of advice. So our first pain point is this. I'm not doing exactly what they are, right? They're growing. They're doing this. They're growing so much faster than me. These are some of the pain points. This is the comparison trap. Here's another one. Well, my content isn't polished enough. I'm comparing myself to Melody Elise. Her content is so much greater, but she's been in the game like 10 years. How long you been in it? Not even 10 minutes. Right? Another pain point is this one. I feel I have to change my style to be successful. I can't show up as who I authentically am. I've got to start to caterpillar and start to mimic, what she does or what this one does and what that one does. These are the pain points. And we're going to break them down one by one. Okay, so I'm doing exactly what they are doing, but they are growing faster. You're doing what you are doing. They are doing what they are doing. You don't know what they are doing. It may come off when their video is finished that you guys did the same thing. But you don't really know. Now, unless they've come out here to say exactly what their process is, then you don't really know. So here you are a one-woman show, as I am a one-woman show, and we are the scripter, we are the idea person, we are the filmer, we are the lights person, we are the studio setup person in our rooms, in our living room, in our kitchens, in our closets. We're the everything, and then we're the talent. We got to go make ourselves pretty. We got to make sure we're all elevated up. We got to make sure our hair is combed. We got all that. Then we got to make sure that our household is quiet enough for us to do the work. So we're the manager. And then we got to make sure that the content is gonna get viewership. So we got to do all of these things. And so with them, they may have, a video editor to do that. Now you got to record and then you got to go chop it up and then you got to piece it together. You got to throw in the B-roll. You got to throw in the S-roll. You got to throw in the D-roll. You got to throw in the text. You got to throw in all that. But they may have the ability to just do all of the stuff. But there's one thing that they don't actually have to do themselves. They may outsource that editing. And then you see their video, it's put together nicely. Yes, because they didn't have the time to really do that. And so because they're paying it out and so outsourcing it, their video is, it's lovely. But you spent about 10 hours trying to edit it and trying to put all that together, right? So their videos and their channels might be growing a little bit better for just that one investment. So I'm doing exactly what they are doing, but they are growing faster. You don't really know. And even with that, they might, have the ability to go into a studio, right? They might just walk into the studio and somebody does all of that for them. They have the ability to pay for that, to go into a nice little studio, spend whatever it is. So then they don't have to set up with the editing parts of it. They don't have to deal with because a lot of the studios that you go to, at least some of the ones that I know, parts of the editing is included in the package that you get. So they could walk into the studio and that is dealt with. The editing part of it is dealt with. And all of those extras, they splice it up, cut it up, and do, the nice intro and do all of these different things when they go in. And so that's a price. You don't know if that's what they're doing. So I'm doing exactly what they are, but they are growing faster. You don't know where that, you don't really know. So these are two things that is just in the basic examples of what content creators can do. And you think, they're in the struggle like you. Yeah, they might be in the struggle like you, but they are putting different systems together. And so therefore, just that little bit of extra brings them a different result. Okay? So that's that pain point. Now, the spiritual root of that pain point is this. It's believing God's favor is limited to you. It's a limited resource to you. And that's not quite good because everybody has the same resource. It's just depending on how you use your resources. So for me right now, I am definitely playing with the idea of outsourcing my editing because it's like, oh, my time would be better spent in just recording the content and saying, hey, can you make this good for me? So we all have the same resources. It's available. It's out there. It's just depending on us, on where we want to be able to put fruits in our resources. So it's just recognizing and knowing where your strengths and your weaknesses are. So if I know that, you know what, my time will be better spent if I sit down and record the content and then say, hey, send it to somebody at Fiverr or at Upworks or something like that and say, hey, you know, here's the editing style that I would like. You find somebody, so you give them clues of how you want them to edit your video. And you say, this is the editing style that I would like. I'd like all the stuff. I'd like the B-rolls. I'd like the letters. I'd like the pop-ups. I'd like, I want all the stuff. But you got to pay for that, right? You got to pay for that. That resource is available. So believing God's favor is limited, is a limited resource. It's not. It's there. You just have to tap into it. And so here's the biblical solution for that. So remember the body of Christ, right? If one member is honored, then all of us are in the rejoice. All of us are in the kumbaya, right? Their growth isn't your loss, right? It's a win-win for the kingdom. The kingdom is winning. We are all winning. So you're putting out good content. They're putting out good content. And you figure out how to get your resources in place. Yes, in the beginning, you've got to do all the things. You've got to do all the things. And that's why, so a little bit of budgeting is definitely in place. And so once that content gets monetized, know that it's an investment that you're doing. And so you will reap that back. So I don't know what the circumstances are for funds or whatnot. You make it work where you're at. And if you can't outsource stuff, then you just got to do all of the things. You got to do all of the things. It's that simple. But good works brings amazing results. And at some point, you will be at the level of a Melody Elise if you stay consistent in what you're doing. Because, again, if you have good audio, you can retain the audience and you're giving value in your message. You know what? People are going to stick around. Without the bells and whistles, without the B-rolls, without the pop-up words and all the extra. As long as you're giving them value and you're genuine, people are going to stick around. And they're going to they're going to subscribe. So do that just now. Do it right now. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Okay, here is the next pain point. My content isn't polished enough compared to Melody Elise, right? Again, she's been in the game for like 5+ years. I would actually suggest go back and look at the beginning to see where she's at, because when you're comparing yourselves to other people, we literally forget that they started at some point. Unless you started off, you were like a marketer in the beginning, like you were coming from a job, understanding how all of this worked. Then you probably came out with a plan and knowing what you were doing and so on and so forth. But for a lot of us, we just picked up a camera and said, hey, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do this thing. And you just started talking. You just started talking to the camera. You just started talking to your phone. You just started talking. That's what a lot of us, started out as. But if you didn't have that background, then yeah, you're lost to all of it. So some people's content can be very polished right out of the gate because, again, you don't know what their circumstances are. You can't continuously compare yourself to X, Y, and Z because their content is polished, their look is polished, their thumbnails is this and all of that. And so here is our root. Here's the root of it. We're forgetting that God uses us in our weak things. We're forgetting that God uses us in these times where we are being built. Because if we can't show where we've been, right, where we're at, how does he get glory when we're in a different place? Don't forget that God uses us in our weaknesses. And he uses that to put the world to shame. Because the world is going to see you struggling right now, see me struggling right now, see us struggling right now. Oh, they only have 500 subscribers. Oh, okay, I guess they don't have nothing good to say. Oh, they've only gotten 10 views. I guess nobody's interested in what they got to say. But what the world misses is that even though we're small, our voices are mighty. Even though we are small, our voices are mighty. And sometimes the word that you need, the message that you need is coming from a content creator with 5 subscribers and 1 view. And that's you, right? That's how it happens sometimes. And then, and sure, when you've established your audience, it's a different ball game. But it's those weaknesses, those small weaknesses, as God prunes us, as God builds us, as God pour into us, in the small areas, in the weak areas, and then we become mighty. And so the biblical focus on this is this. It comes from Galatians 6:4. Test your own actions. Use yourself because you are responsible for your own talents. You are responsible for your own works. God gave you the same senses and talents and so on that other people have, but you've got your very own. Yours is special. Melody Elise, she has her talent. She has, she has the things. And you have the things. It's us finding where our things are and tapping into them. And then taking those things and polishing them and building on them and learning them and exercising on them and stretching them. We got to stretch those muscles, right? We got to work out those muscles, right? And that's where we are. Stop comparing your content and yourself to big names, because one day you will be the big name. So the next pain point is, I feel like I have to change my style to be successful. God made you the way he made you. He gave you your own voice. He gave you your own skills and talents. He gave you your own style, your own swag, your own way of delivery. Excuse me a second. He gave you your own things. So you don't have to change anything. You just have to learn who you are. So you want to change yourself, you want to change your style, you want to change your swag because you don't think that it's working, or you don't think it's something that the market wants or the ministry want or the people want. And so you say, oh, well, what I'm doing is not working. And believe you me, I understand finding our niches, because we're not all called to be all things to everybody. And even for me on this channel, I've gone through different stages, and now I'm in this stage because this stage is where I'm at. And this stage is where I'm helping other content creators like myself. I'm helping you because I understand that the digital ministry is where we are. And so my lane in all of this is bringing the gospel and trying to help you, the content creator, stay on track spiritually. I'm not going to teach you how to make thumbnails. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm not going to teach you how to do all of these different things. I'm here to pour into you so that you can go out here and have the strength and the ability and know that you're creating for the kingdom. That's what I'm doing. I can't help you figure out CapCut. I can't even figure out CapCut. I got to keep pouring me to give me strength and knowledge to keep me going to figure out CapCut. That's not why I'm here. So there's different markets for different creators. And so because I've been running a different channel, I know about these things. But I'm not here to teach you about that. I'm here to teach you how to be a vessel for the gospel, how to keep you focused on the word, not chasing trends. And that takes us to the core of this thing. It's chasing trends. Stop chasing trends. Instead, start letting the Holy Spirit lead you with conviction. You don't have to chase all of the stories. You don't have to chase all of the topics. You don't have to chase all of the stuff. What's currently trending? No. You stick to what it is that you have to say. You stick to what it is that the Spirit has led you to cover, right? And so, because when we're chasing trends, we're constantly because everybody else is chasing it too. So you gotta put your 2 cents into that conversation. And for some of the people who's in different niches, that's why this niche for me, it's wonderful because I'm not chasing anything. I'm not chasing the YouTube algorithm. I'm not chasing anything. I'm literally just trying to help you and help me for us to stay focused on the kingdom as content creators so we can produce quality content. And we let it all be. So this story right now, it's not in the news. It's not gossip on, what celebrity pastor is doing, what pastor was with the Diddy files and what pastor's doing with the Epstein files and all what pastors are doing with all of this stuff. I'm just here to help content creators focus on pulling in the spiritual realm so they can deliver on their platforms and bringing other creators and bringing their content to life for the ministry. And that's my focus. That's my lane here. So I'm not chasing trends. So don't stop chasing trends. Let the Spirit lead you instead. And so here's a solution. So God made you as an original. He made me as an original. We are an original. Let's stop dying down our content. Let's stop dyeing it, right? With different colors and different breeds and different this and this and this, and to present something else to the ministry, to the body of Christ. No, we were made uniquely. We were a special breed. And so when you do that, you show up on screen as your special breed because you're in your element. Yes, you're small, but as the videos keep flowing, as you keep putting it out there, and the people keep coming back, and they're touching you, and they're seeing it, and they're feeling it, and then next thing you know, you got 10 subscribers. Next thing you know, you got 15. Next thing you know, you got 20. Next thing you know, you got 500. Then you got 1,000. Then you got 100,000. Oh, my Jackie Harry's coming out. You got 100,000. How nice is that? So I want to introduce us now to the fingerprint principle. Even though 2 people may have the same kind of content, creation style. You're different. You have different personalities. You're different ministries. It's not identical. They've got something else that they're really feeding to the people. You've got something else that you're feeding to the people. And so the fingerprints might be similar. The styles might be similar. The content might be similar, but we're all dropping it in a different way. We're all giving it in a different vibe. And people are going to pick it up in a different way. What floats that person's boat? They may not like that person for some reason. They may not, I don't like that ministry so much. I'm going to get my feedings from this one. Oh, I go to this church, and it's the same thing, different church bodies, right? You're a Christian. You don't like this church. Oh, you're a Christian. Oh, I'm not a Catholic, but I'm a Protestant. Or I'm not a Protestant, but I'm a Catholic. And so different vibes for different folks, right? Different vibes for different folks. And it's the same thing in the ministry, in this digital space. People are going to gravitate to the people that they're connecting to. So you have your tribe out there, and Melody Elise, she has her tribe out there. We all have our people. We all have our tribes. And so the fingerprint principle is this. We may have these similarities, but make no mistake, we are different ministries. I want you to take that. You are a different ministry, and you have a different calling, and the different people are going to be the ones flocking to you, the one who really connects to you and your word and your delivery and your style, right? Because we're all different, baby. We're all different. So my advice is this. God didn't call you to be like that next person. He didn't call you to be like Kimberly Elise or whoever you're consuming their content and comparing yourself to. He called you to be you. He called you to be you first. So when you stand before him, and we will, when he says to you, why didn't you do the things that I gave you, these talents, I gave you these skills, I gave you these ideas, I gave you these things, but you were too busy trying to see what Melody Elise was doing. I gave you skills and talents. I gave you a mission for yourself. So when we stand before him, we have to be prepared to answer, because make no mistake, all of this, it's a part of the journey. He's watching in everything, and he's laying the foundations for us in everything. So don't snub what God has put in you to do because you want to compare yourself to somebody else. That's my advice there. So here is some practical tips. Unfollow creators who makes you feel like you're less than. Those creators that you're really not drawing inspiration from, but they've become like this thing. Unfollow them. You can go back later on after you deal with the things that's inside of you. So stop following them, because at this point, you're not really getting any value out of it. What you're doing is literally giving yourself the content paralysis, because you're just constantly comparing. Put their content to the side for a while and focus on you, focus on your content, and maybe draw inspiration from somebody else. But don't just sit there in this space. Unfollow them, those people who make you feel like that, because maybe they were good for you in a season, but now it's changed. You're moving on to a different season. And of course, pray on this for clarity, because again, their message might be amazing, but for you in this moment, it's causing you paralysis, and that's not good. And here is an action step for you to do. So write down 3 things that God gave you that is unique. Your 3 things. You've got something, 3 things. It could be your story, because that's ours. That's your story, is your thing, right? It could be your story, your voice, the way you articulate, the way you do things. It could be your perspective, the way you see the world. All of these things are uniquely special to yourself. So thank God, thank him for making you this unique person with your own story, with your own voice, and with your own perspective, because that makes you special. So take those action steps, take down these 3 things and meditate on them and thank God for them, because they are what makes you unique and special. And that's what's going to connect you to your audience, to your tribe. So as we close, I'm saying this: stop looking at other people's lanes and start running yours, right? Your audience is waiting for you. Your tribe is waiting for you. So stay elevated, stay in the word, stay focused, and don't let content paralysis tie you down, because you have so much to give: joy, love, peace, and so much to your audience. God is working with you in your small season, in your season of small. He is there with you, pruning you so you can elevate to those things. But just know that comparing yourself to others is just not the way to do it, because He made you special. He made you amazing. He gave you an amazing voice. He gave you an amazing heart. He gave you an amazing story. And He gave you an amazing tongue to deliver on what He has for you, within you, for the people, for the kingdom, for the body, for your digital ministry. My name is Amania. I will see you in another one. God bless and keep, and hopefully peace and grace will be with you. Keep elevating, keep biblical elevating, keep elevating, keep elevating, keep elevating.